The largest air combat exercise in NATO's history, Air Defender 2023, AD23, officially got underway yesterday. Bringing together 25 nations in NATO, the exercise features a strong U.S. military presence, with the U.S. Air National Guard, ANG, providing nearly half of the aircraft involved. AD23, which seeks to test the joint responsiveness of Allied air forces in a crisis situation, the Bundeswehr indicates, comes as Russia's all-out war with Ukraine has left the issue of European security of paramount importance to the U.S. and allies. "50 airmen assigned to the New York Air National Guard's 105th Airlift Wing based at Stewart Air National Guard Base in Newburgh are taking part in the largest NATO Air Force's deployment exercise ever held. Air Defender 2023, organized by the German Bundeswehr, involves 10,000 military personnel and 250 aircraft from 25 nations. The exercise officially began on June 12th and runs through June 23rd. The 105th Airlift Wing, which dedicated 4C-17 Globemaster III strategic airlifters to the operation, began flying missions in support of the exercise on May 29th, Memorial Day. The wing flew 10 missions moving airmen from the Kentucky, Massachusetts, Illinois, Texas, Vermont, Oregon, and Pennsylvania National Guards, along with supplies, to Europe. The 105th provided more airlift support for American units participating in Air Defender than any other airlift wing. 105th Airmen will fly more missions moving people and equipment from Europe back to the United States after the exercise ends and will conclude those missions before July 4th. The 105th Airlift Wing's 105th Base Defense Squadron and the Wing Maintenance Squadron deployed airmen in support of the exercise. Stewart Air National Guard Base also served as a staging location for Air Force planes from across the country before they headed to Germany. Air crews would fly to Stewart and stay overnight before continuing across the Atlantic. The United States Air Force is deploying 100 aircraft from 42 states, most of them assigned to the Air National Guard as part of the exercise. Around 2,000 National Guard airmen are part of the exercise. The aircraft being employed range from C-46 tankers to F-16, F-15, and F-35 fighters to C-17 and C-130 transports. The aircraft deployed to German bases in Wunstorf, Schleswig-Holstein, Geilenkirchen, Spangdahlem, Leckfield, and Newburgh. The exercise scenario calls for NATO air forces to react to an attack on a NATO member. German Air Force officials first conceived of the exercise in 2018 after Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea from Ukraine in 2014, but 4 years prior to the Russian attack on that country. With AD23 ongoing until June 23rd, close cooperation between the Luftwaffe, Air Traffic Control, Eurocontrol, as well as airlines and airport operators has been maintained to avoid flight issues for commercial travel. According to the Bundeswehr, the 3 areas that are being used for AD23 are only being utilized for up to 4 hours per day, and at different times. I hope that, if all these measures are effective, there will be no flight cancellations, Ingo Gerhardt, a lieutenant general in the German Air Force, has said. The exercise is a signal above all to us, a signal to us, the NATO countries, but also to our population that we are in a position to react very quickly, that we would be able to defend the alliance in case of attack, Lieutenant General Ingo Gerhardt, Germany's Air Force chief who is overseeing AD23. While AD23 does not aim to officially rehearse scenarios involving specific opponents, the initial planning was seemingly influenced by Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. Speaking on the impetus for the exercise, Lieutenant General Gerhardt, who also initially proposed the exercise, indicates that the trigger for me was the capture, the annexation of Crimea. In addition, Amy Gutman, the U.S. ambassador to Germany, said, "I would be very surprised if any world leader didn't pay attention to what this shows in terms of the spirit of this alliance, meaning the strength of this alliance that includes Mr. Putin." Other figures within the German military have taken a different stance, perhaps in a bid to prevent provoking additional tensions with Russia. As Lieutenant General Gunnar Katz, the commanding general of the Bundeswehr Air Force Command, indicates, the decision to start planning for AD23 was made in 2018 and actually has nothing to do with the Russia-Ukraine war. More broadly, NATO has maintained a heightened force posture since Russia's all-out invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022. This includes holding established recurring exercises, such as Steadfast Noon, as well as conducting various inter-allied naval drills in Europe. Nearly constant deployments of U.S. aircraft to Europe and Eastern Europe, in particular, have occurred since the invasion of Crimea. These continue today and feature drills with local air arms. That Russia's all-out war with Ukraine has spurred greater interoperability between European air forces, more specifically has been evidenced of late by the creation of the Nordic Air Defense Alliance in March, involving Denmark, Finland, Norway, as well as Sweden, the former three countries being NATO members and all four of which are participating in AD23. The Air Defense Alliance aims to develop a Nordic concept for joint air operations based on already known NATO methodology. As we reported at the time, those countries have upwards of 300 fighter jets between them, as well as training, transport and surveillance fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters. They also have readily available surface-to-air missile capabilities. With that said, much like massive ground combat-oriented exercises of the recent past, AD23's massive scope signals NATO's deep commitment to defending its allies from external aggression in the midst of Russia's war in Ukraine.